What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Well, in today's video, we're going to be going over Fantom. This is one that I've really grown to love over the last 6 or 7 months now. It is one that I personally have staked money into. It is one that I personally think has a lot of potential, but on the charts, we are seeing something that can be a little bit of a warning sign that some type of correction could be on the way. And so in today's video, again, I want to cover that, and I also want to cover my long-term and mid-term outlook on it. So definitely do stay tuned. Try to, listen to the whole video, because in the beginning it might sound a little bit bearish, but in the midterm to long term you'll definitely start to see my points. So for sure, let's go ahead, let's skip the BS, let's skip the fluff, and let's get straight into the good stuff. So what are we seeing from Fantom right now? Well, what we've been seeing from Fantom has, of course, been an awesome recovery. I mean, an absolutely awesome recovery in which we've seen the price come back to some of these key levels in which we saw back in towards, October, November, when it really first started to catch traction. Now, one thing we saw was that as we did put in some of these lows towards December-ish, after, it finally stopped seeing this massive decline, is that we are still in an uptrend, right? We are still seeing this thing trend upwards as we are setting some higher lows and we are setting some higher highs, of course, okay? So it's always a good thing. While we are setting some of these higher lows and higher highs, I'm really not too concerned that anything too, anything too dramatic will happen. But something that I'm picking up on right now with Fantom is that as we have been seeing this move to the top side over the last couple weeks, we are starting to see it get a tad extended, okay? Now, what I mean by that is if we do go ahead and we pay attention to the charts, something that you can see is that the momentum that the bulls have at the moment is dying off. Now, the way in which you can identify that is simply by just paying attention to the RSI in comparison to the price. So looking back at this previous move to the upside back here, we can see that as we started to reach these new highs, momentum did die off and it started to lead to a rather large correction. I mean, this is a pullback of 68–70%. And what we can see that happened on the RSI that was a warning sign to us before this was that momentum was dying off. If you look at our RSI here, we came up and we set some highs. We also set some highs on the price. Well, then on the price, we went back up to set even higher highs. But then this was the first sign that it was slowing down, as on the RSI, we failed to set that higher high. That's called bearish divergence. And the price continued up, and it was fine, and we set an even higher high. Then the price really started to fail to set a higher high. And as this momentum is dying off, and as we're starting to see our RSI really pull back, even though our price is going up, that's a sign that the bulls are slowing down and that the bears are having a little bit more success in terms of relative strength whenever it comes to pulling the price back down. Now, what we can see happen right after that is that there was a correction, right? We saw the correction after this final high of, again, 70–60%. Well, what we can see going on at the moment is that the price is working its way up for Fantom. We set some of these highs, which was great. We set this high. We even went up to set an even higher high. Boom. We did the same thing on the RSI, but notice the slope. Notice how this is becoming a little bit more sideways as this is becoming, still a little vertical. And then as we came back up to set an equivalent high, as we've set a double top here on Fantom's charts, we have set this, a lower high at the moment. It does seem as if we're rounding off a little bit here on the RSI. Now, if the price of Fantom does go up above $3.16 and the RSI works its way back up above 74, this is completely invalidated and this move from Fantom is still extremely healthy. But while we are under $3.16 and we set an equivalent high here, but setting a lower high here, that's going to be a sign of bearish divergence, in which might, it definitely has a possibility to lead us to see a continued move back to the downside, for us to be able to go to correct that. Now, is this for sure going to happen? No, it's not for sure going to happen. There is a thesis that says that we will push above 316. If we look at something that looks, more of, the MACD on the daily charts, something you can see is that we just recently got another bullish cross, right? In which we saw this pullback, we saw the pullback. There we go. But then we saw the recovery and the bullish cross, the recovery and the bullish cross. So what it tells us is that we definitely do have the momentum to see them move to the top side. We just need to see it happen sooner than later, because that is why Fantom's price is in danger. Because if it doesn't and we start to see that roll there, that can be a sign that we may start to push back towards, the bottom side of this triangle in which we're in, or something of that nature. Now, again, it's not confirmed. This is not me trying to predict the future. It's not me trying to tell you what's going to happen. It's me letting you know what we need to be watching out for. Because in terms of the bottom side here, I am still under the belief that Fantom will eventually break out the top side due to us seeing, our low, a higher low, a lower low. So that's leading us to see that there is still bullish divergences happening on the bottom side of this triangle in which we've been in for realistically the past like 4 to 5 months. So even if there is a breakout to the downside here and we do see a bounce and we see more bullish divergence, I still believe that we will break to the top side eventually. But right now the price is in danger because if it does not come within probably the next week or so, we definitely could look at a resortment back to the bottom side, which could look like a fall as low as $1.50 before we do see that continuation back to the top side. The reason that I'm saying that is because when we start to see these bullish indicators slow down, when we start to see the RSI slowing down as the price is still moving up, it's a sign that the relative strength is weakening and that we may not have the strength to get above a level of resistance that has rejected us not once, not twice, but 3 and 4 times at this point. And so we definitely need to be paying close attention to $3.16, and we definitely need to see if it's able to maintain it. Now, personally speaking, if I was going to be buying, if I was looking to get in on Fantom, what I would do is absolutely wait for at least 1 or 2 daily closes above $3.16. If it's able to do that and the RSI is able to work itself up a little bit further to kind of offset some of this bearish divergence, then at that point I am under the belief that that could be the move up towards $5 that we're looking for. But if we're not able to do that and we start to roll, I do expect that the price could come as low as, $1.40 to $1.50 into February before we do see that eventual turnaround. Now, do understand, I am a extreme Fantom bull. Okay, just yesterday, I have this pulled up. Just yesterday, I staked about 672 Tomb Fantom LP, in which I'll be earning some passive income, and I have my Fantom in my Fantom holding locked up and tied up right now, and trying to earn passive income as I am expecting a lot of growth. And as we do see Fantom's total value locked just absolutely exponentially and increasing right now, I am under the belief that it can and will continue upwards into the future in the mid and the long term. But in the short term, if you're looking to get in, I definitely would be extremely careful as we are seeing these things slow down, and that may lead to seeing another pullback in which we need to correct what we saw back here. We need to correct this momentum shift, and then we start to work our way back up in a more healthy fashion to see that more extreme breakout to the upside with the strength that we need to see the break of $3.16. So overall, that's my opinion on Fantom right now. Short term definitely looks a little bit rocky, as we can tell the bulls are waning and they're slowing down right now. But if we are able to get above 316 and see a correction of this bearish divergence, I don't see a problem with that being a good short term buying opportunity, maybe with price targets all the way up to $4.50 to even $5 in the next 8 to 9 weeks. But if we aren't able to see that closing and that clearing and we start to roll here, I am under the belief that a more extensive fall back towards $2.08 is highly likely, and the loss of $2.08 likely means a push back towards, $1.50 to $1.40 in order for us to allow to correct this bearish divergence, retest this key level of support, and then come back up for the break to the top side on maybe even some type of W-shaped recovery there. So overall, that's my opinion on what we're seeing from Fantom right now. I know it is one that's gaining a lot of traction, and I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but I will always provide you guys with what I am seeing, and that is exactly what I'm seeing right now. It does look like it can be a fantastic buy the moment it clears $3.16 on 1 or 2 daily closes, but do pay attention to the fact that that might not happen just yet. So with that being said, if you guys do want to stay up to date with Fantom and you want me to post more videos about it, please let me know in the comment section. I can definitely do that. I actually have a cold case of the Rona right now, so I am a little bit sick, so it is a little bit hard for me to get a bunch of videos out a day, but I am trying my best to get at least 1 or 2, so do stay tuned for the next one coming out later today, and I will see you all next time. Peace.